Let's look into the idea of net force once more. Net force is the overall force acting on an object when all individual forces are combined. Since force is a vector quantity, we must combine both its magnitude and direction when calculating the net force. Okay, first point is quite simple. First point, as an equivalent diagram, what I can do is I can consider an object. Let me standardize this. Say we have bunch of forces acting on it, F1 to Fn. The net force will be 1. It's one single thing. Next, since the force is a vector quantity, right? If I have 10 Newton of force and say 2 Newton of force, the effect is not the same as having 10 Newton of force and say 2 Newton of force in this way. The effect is not the same. Okay, so effects are not equal. They're not of equal scenario because the direction is different. An object's motion or lack of motion is determined by the net force acting on it, not by a single force. A net force is the overall force acting on the object when all individual forces are combined. Right, guys? So that's that. As an example, we have a very simple example over here. Imagine you're pushing a box with the force of 10 Newton to the right. So you have a box, first force. I'll consider up and right as positive. First force is with 10 Newton along the x-axis, so it's 10 I cap. At the same time, a friend, okay, is helping you by pushing the box from the left with the force of 5 Newton to the left. From left to the, okay, this is, no, wait, from the left to the right, my bad. Force to the right, force to the left. Okay, it's to the left. It's not trying to help. I mean, the question is weird. A friend is helping you push the box from the left. Let me change the question actually. Okay, guys, we have a different question now. Imagine two friends are playing tug of war with a rope. One friend pulls it to the left with a force of 100 Newton. Let's imagine the rope to be with in the form of a box. It's represented by a box, and we'll consider up and right as positive. So we have the first person pulling this with the force of 100 Newton, and the second person is pulling the right with the force of 80 Newton. What is the net force on the rope? So I can represent this as F1 as 100 I cap Newton, negative because left is negative. F2 is 80 I cap Newton, and the net force is a vector sum of F1 plus F2, which is minus 100 I cap plus 80 I cap, and this will be minus 20 I cap. Okay, it's as simple as this. Even complicated question, all you have to do is express in component form and then add them. Right, guys? So this is your basic idea of net force. So net force is defined as the overall force acting on an object when all individual forces are combined.